Flynn. Good morning, chat. I hope everyone's doing well on this beautiful Friday afternoon. A perfect day to win a hockey game, Flynn, I would say. What's up, Spra? We are 100% locked in. All the 0 scrims we did to prepare are going to carry us. I mean, I saw Shrey was playing Siege earlier today. I don't know if he still is. But clearly, there's been a little bit of warm-up. There's been a little bit of practice being put into this. What's up, John? Flynn, I feel like you've said that a couple times before. I feel like that hasn't gone so well the last couple times. You haven't played List since last Sunday? I believe in you, Random. Random, the thing about you is you don't need practice. You're so naturally talented that you're going to wipe the floor with these E3 open qual nobodies. On pure skill alone. What's up, Ben? Element 3 open qualifiers start in like 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. So we're hanging out, chatting until then. We're gonna watch the first game of the BBC stack. Our Discord has put together a team, an elite team, I would argue, of some of the best gunners in all of North America to take on the Element 3 qualifier number 2. I expect this qualifier will have a few more teams than the last one because the last one started on a Monday. And this one started on a, starts on a Friday. So I'm expecting some good games today. I unfortunately will not be able to cover every single match throughout the day. Because I'm going to prioritize watching Oilers Force Game 7 than watching Element Quals. You're trying to win 5 casual games to play ranked on your alt. Would you like some help, Flynn? Would you like the casual gamer to come out? Pro player can't win a quick match. Tough. There's lots of news going on today. There are currently, I believe they're current live. The Esports World Cup European Open qualifiers are live right now as we speak. And Brazil starts in a couple of hours. However, there's no streams. And in fact, the rulebook of Esports World Cup specifically says there is no community casting allowed. So there are unfortunately no streams of the Esports World Cup Open quals, which is a real shame in my opinion. I feel like music's too loud. Real shame, IMO. I really wanted to cover the NA Open quals for EWC next week, but due to that rule, I will not be able to. So we're lacking in stream content for next week. I won't lie to you. But I have some things cooking. Hungry is streaming. People have talked about this game, but I haven't been able to find it. What's his fucking Twitch channel? I literally was browsing the R6 category and I couldn't find him. Oh, he has 700 viewers. How did I miss this? All right. Hold. We're gonna watch an ad to support Hungry. Yeah, they said the rules state that POV streams are fine. How many ads do we have? Twitch? 15 seconds. POV streams are fine. However,
After you.
No, I'll take the next one.
Please, buddy.
Come on, pal.
I'll take the stairs.
I'm claustrophobic.
I insist.
Après-vous.
however, they're not allowed third-person streams, which is really, really stupid. Derrida Q Casual is a whole different game. Casual is something else. Casual in Siege is just people running into the building as fast as possible every single round. 6-6 Oregon defense. Hungry Stack takes this. So, just for some context on what this game is. This is Ents, the pro team, on the blue team, so attacking right now, versus My Man Jaegers, which is Hungry, Bibu, Dora, Shinka, and then I don't know if Skitty is playing or Leighton. Leighton is listed as the 6th man, so I'm not 100% sure on who is who. Looks like they also don't have comms, which is kind of nice, actually. Is that a Monty? As I said, man, Monty's fucking busted right now. A very boring Oregon basement hold, though. Nothing crazy about this. Drone just got in the E-box. Minute on the clock. The Monty is annoying. He's kind of coming in a way where he likely doesn't have any Goyo canisters to stop that. But if he pushes far enough, there might be a Goyo there somewhere. No shot they just blind drop this. Ooh, okay. Great C4. Is the Monty still up? Oh, and he is kit. Oh, he's in the iconic spot. Bro thinks he's iconic, and he just might be. Him playing here makes his Goyo kind of useless, though. There's 30 seconds. It'd be nice to pop it. But it's definitely better to just play with a shotgun. Nah, they win this. They absolutely 100% win this. Unless somebody comes Freezer right now and shits on Hungry, they're winning this 100%. Only 2 shots left. Wait, it's possible he loses. I guess you just want to waste time with the Goyo canister. It is, again, a good Goyo to pop, but feels a little bit bad. Oh, Dora's fucking nasty. It doesn't matter. He wins this on time. Easy. Easy dub. 7-6. Ents done the exact same push 3 times now. I mean, Oregon basement is fucking awful. Awful to push. What's good, Stino dude? Gotta bully all the NA players to stream the quals. If the NA players are streaming, I will definitely watch alongside, but it's obviously just like only in your disadvantage to stream, right? I mean, you do get crazy viewers. This guy's got fucking 890 viewers right now. Don't just all drop E-box, go Freezer or something. Yeah. When I saw the matchups this morning, this is the one that I thought, you know what? This is by far the best pub stack in the tournament. This game from Hungary right now. By far the best pub stack. And they're playing one of the worst pro teams. So this is like very possible to be an upset. And, I mean, we'll see. All gonna come down to fucking Oregon basement. Hi, Jeffrey. Bro, that fucking thing with the Dean calling me Jeffrey, that's like the perfect thing to lie about. Right? That's like a story that sounds like I made it up. I promise you I didn't. I promise you that's a real fucking story that he actually called me Jeffrey. I like walked off the stage. I want to talk about the story of it in a bit here once the game's over, but I walked off the stage. I was just smiling, bro. I got a bunch of congratulations. People thought I was smiling because I graduated. I just thought it was so funny he called me Jeffrey. It's actually gold. Life is wet and awful. Flooding is terrible. Yeah, it sucks. I feel like literally every possible weather event that hits Texas just ruins the country. I feel like your guys' infrastructure is the worst of all time. You had like an inch of snow, state shut down. A little bit of rain, state shuts down. What are you prepared for? All right, on the Monty now, Hungary, to upset a pro team as a pub stack. It's gonna be a basement push. What the fuck is this? Do I need to fucking sub to Hungary? There's 6 ads? Alright, we're subbing to Hungary. Hold on. Hold on. I gotta give the Hungary $8 Canadian plus 40 cents tax. Refresh. Son of a fucking bitch. Well, I am stealing his content, so may as well. May as well. Chat, it looks like they are doing the identical push to what Ents were doing, but Ents were dumb enough to lose somebody on the roam, so it might go well for them. Finka is also kind of crazy, right? Finka is secretly one of the best ops in the game right now. Because she also speeds up how quickly Monty can, like, ADS and such. And, like, pull down his shield to, like, melee people. Finka is sleeper good right now. I wish this HUD would tell us what bans are. The actual player HUD is very bad for spectating. Can't believe subs are gonna be $6 US now. That's the problem with Twitch being one of the least profitable companies of all time. This website makes no fucking money, man. Hungry. There you go. You see that? They Finka boosted, and then he was able to pull out his gun a little bit faster. Didn't matter. Ultimately, they still lose the push. Oregon basement. Feels Oregon, man. Dez put out a tweet the other day. It was for the, Spoit tweeted, give us your unpopular opinions. And Dez tweeted that although Oregon is solved, it's not a bad map. Fuck Oregon, man. I think especially with the 3-3-3-3 that's being tested in Element 3, Oregon is, like, awful. I'm not a fan. I don't think it needs to be, like, removed, but, like, they need to rework the basement to make it not so strong.
Loading new magazine.
I don't know how. I don't know how you rework the basement, but there's got to be a way. Maybe you put the hatch a little bit farther back to make it a bit safer. Maybe you just tear out some walls so the defenders have less places to play. I like Sky. On average, Twitch loses like $500 or so to run a stream with a few hundred viewers. Yeah, Twitch is a very bad business. Twitch is just a money pit propped up by Amazon with 0 competitors. It's very funny. Make it so you can plant closer to the laundry stairs. Well, that's how old Oregon was, right? Make the front take more viable. Because old Oregon was like that. I don't know if you need to increase where the plants are. I just think pushing the problem with pushing front Oregon front laundry is that you basically have to walk like fucking 10 miles through no man's land where there's no cover. There's like likely a mirror window staring at you. If there's not, there's at least an angle staring at you. Like 4 different angles staring at you with that. Right? Both coming down laundry stairs and coming down freezer, it's like you've got to walk so far with no cover. I think you just need to give some geometry to those parts of the map. Add some cover for the attackers to like move between. Because it feels so bad pushing that as an attacker. You are right. Stino, what's going on? One of the main issues is there's no vertical play at all. That doesn't help. I don't mind that there's no vertical play, though. To me, that's like an interesting part of Oregon that separates it. I feel like, I don't know. I don't think vertical play needs to be an aspect in every single map. And I think I kind of like that Oregon is unique in that it like doesn't really have vert play. Like it kind of does for dorms, but even on this bomb site, it's not that like important. There's like, on this map, there's basically 0 vertical play from top down, right? Like it's only kitchen that has vertical play. Excuse me. Like, this is like the one map in the game where like anybody who just plays perma buck, you know who you are, has to like play something different. They often still don't, but if you want to get good value. They lose, by the way. They're fucked here. 2v5? 2v4. Yeah. Tough to blame Hungary on that one. His team kind of died all around him. The pub stack doesn't do it. Unfortunate. Ents move on. The French win again. Let's look at the bracket now. So this was... Close that. This was Esports World Cup Open Qualifiers from Europe. So today, these are the games that happened. Are these games happening today? No, these games are tomorrow. So today, BDS beat Dunlimited, obviously. Virtus Pro beat Wild. Not a given, but good to see. I like Virtus Pro. I want to see them get back on their horse. Or back on their bear, if you will. G2 beat Nilo 7-1-7-0. Tough. Who the fuck is on Nilo? Bunch of French players. Okay. Wolves beat Honved. Bunch of Hungarian players. Interesting. Secret beat Lumina. Again, not surprising. Emission's on this team. He's kind of good. He was back in the day, at least. Ents have now beaten My Man Jaegers. That was the game we just watched. Into the Breach beat Into the Breach Academy, but they took a map off them. Not sure if that's good or bad for Into the Breach that they're losing a game to their academy team, but they do close it out. And then Fnatic beat M&M Academy, which is these players. Now tomorrow, they will play for a spot in the closed qualifiers. VP BDS, that's just gonna be a banger game. It's very sad that won't be streamed. G2 Wolves, another banger game. Secret Ents. Fnatic ITB. Secret and ITB should slam. Secret ITB should slam. BDS will probably slam too, but I always love seeing this matchup. And then this G2, this will be fun. I actually don't know who wins this. Chat, who wins this? I think G2 take it. I don't know if I have faith in the Wolves. I mean, I don't really have faith in G2 either. They're both complete brand new rosters, so it's tough to say, but this will be a really fun game. I really wish this was streamed. But if I had to bet, I'd take G2. No, don't open Spotify. Yes. Kick is in the shitter now, so Twitch can do whatever they want. Yeah, Kick's been in the shitter. Anybody who thought Kick actually had a chance of upsetting Twitch is insane. Are there NA quals? Yes! NA quals are next week. They are Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 26th to the 30th. However, again, there is no community streaming allowed, so I won't really be able to stream. Go Oilers! Game 7's coming up. So, Brazil quals are tonight, I think. Wait. Yeah, Brazil quals are happening tonight as well. Basically, EU and Brazil are finishing up tonight. Let's look at the Brazil bracket real quick. There is a lower bracket as well, but... So there's still a lot of games going on, so let me see. So from the upper bracket, 4 teams qualify. So this is the round of 16, so 8 teams will qualify. So basically this. So one of these 4 teams will make it. One of FaZe Clan, Kurizinhao, Raza Company, or Tunados will make it. Certainly it'll be FaZe Clan. Am I correct in this? No. Okay. So from the upper bracket, sorry. One of these 4 plus these 4 will make it. So NIP and FaZe Clan will likely be playing for a spot in EWC. Or in the EWC close quals, I should say. But still, that probably goes to FaZe Clan. E1 will likely play W7M for a spot in the close qualifiers. But what even is E1's roster right now? STK, Basetto, Flashtree, Perez, and Live. Yeah, W7M should shit on them. I think E1 without Arthur is a disaster. I think they fall apart, unfortunately. Liquid will likely play against the winner of Vivo Keat Stars versus Fluxo and get a free spot, frankly. So Liquid should make it to EWC close qualifiers, and then the last spot will be Furia versus Black Dragons or Los. Black Dragons without Loira, or Los with Los with Wizard and Arthur. I think Los take that. I think this Los roster is kind of nasty, actually. This Los roster is kind of crazy. I'm excited for them. My hot take is this Los roster does not finish last place in NAL. That's my hot take. You're not an Oilers fan, just hate the Panthers? Hey, welcome aboard the bandwagon. Happy to have you. An Oilers player is the 3rd player to get more than 40 points in a playoff series. Don't call Connor McDavid an Oilers player. That's the 2nd greatest player of all time you're talking about right there. This is not E3. E3 starts in about an hour and a half. What's going on, Dianic? Really, it's a waiting room right now, yeah. Thank you, Bravo. Thank you. You don't have to know the name of every player on the Oilers, but you should probably know the best player to play in 2 decades. Bruins fan support? I'm no Bruins fan, but I'll take it. Not 2 hours? Oh yeah, 2.5 hours. Sorry, 2.5 hours. I don't know why I'm so bad with these qual times. I fucked it up last week too. Or on Monday, I should say. Opinions on the Korean Esports World Cup? Yeah. The Korean Esports World Cup happened recently. All you have to know about the Esports World Cup Open qualifiers for Korea is that top 8 made it, and only 9 teams signed up. So this one squad is the only squad that didn't make it. Yes, ENCE ended up winning 8-7 on Oregon. They won a Dorms attack to close it out. Next stage of official competition starts in September. We got the whole summer offseason to get through first. They got ruined on seeding. Who do they have to play? Not really. I mean, they're a bad team who had to play a bad team. Pawns Rebellion. And then after losing that, they had to play another bad team. BSG. BSG is actually not terrible. We're going to talk about this roster in a bit, too. Now, let's talk about them now. For those who didn't see, there's a new exciting roster in Korea. Let's just watch their trailer, okay? Because I actually have a lot to say about this roster. Well, not that much, but I do have some interesting tidbits about this roster. So, for some quick context, this team, MIR, last played in Stage 1, and they got 7th. So they were a pretty bad team in Stage 1. They were this squad right there. None of their players are really memorable. Their org isn't really memorable. They're kind of a brand new team, came out of nowhere. They did really bad. They went to open quals. They did well enough in open quals to make it to closed quals, and then in closed quals, they lost to D+, and then they lost to Webble. So like a very mid-Korean team. But they're making moves, so let's watch this.
지난 시즌을 돌이켜봤을 때 저희가 보여드리지 못한 부분이 너무 많은 것 같습니다.
Looking back last season, I don't think we showed our best form. I'll read it because it's
구원에서
not
좋은
English.
성적 보여드리겠습니다.
We'll return stronger next season.
분량이 정말 많았지만
Was frustrated because we couldn't bring it even though we practiced hard.
근창문 이번에 섰고.
상까지 만들어내기도 했고요.
시간이 지나면
Thought
괜찮아지겠지
time would make me
싶었지만
forget.
시간이 지나도 지난 시즌의 아쉬움이 잊혀지지 않는 것 같습니다.
사건으로 그걸
Who's that?
I'm gonna show them the correct meta and the real Latin playstyle.
All right, real quick, they don't need the real LATAM playstyle. The Hispanic LATAM region is awful. Let them play some other meta, right? Show them the real Siege, but just not LATAM, please.
I used to just run around, click heads, kill people. Now I've got to teach them how to play the real.
Oh my god, this is going to be really awful for Skeptic. Yes, it is you and Flexi as well falling down. Just being
Is that Dianic? Sorry if it's not.
able to sneak up and get a cheeky foot free.
I think it is, though.
Just done. And Blur hitting some nasty headshots in that round. And
That's not Dianic.
even him, WCN, they cannot really get in.
Was it not? My bad.
Teach your team how to play like the best league in the history of the game. And show them what it takes to look down.
Play it again. It was a woman with a European accent.
Now I've got to teach them how to play the real.
Oh my god, this is going to be really awful for Skeptic. Yes, it is you and Flexi as well falling down. Just being able to sneak up and get a cheeky foot free.
Anyways, so Mur Gaming, I don't know if it's pronounced Mur or MIR, have signed Sloth, Blur, and Wafer. Blur obviously coming out of retirement after being cut from G2 after winning the 6 Invitational. I guess he went on Makers for a while, but realistically coming out of retirement for his first like actual shot at playing on a decent team. Decent is subjective, but a top team in Korea, we'll say. Blur is coming back. Sloth has been around the block, of course. Sloth last played professionally, I guess what? For Heroic at SI. Didn't play at all last season on a tier 1 team. Had some, stuck around on some tier 2 teams. A little bit with Pats Asleep. Played on TT9 for a little bit. Forgotten Days, who we actually covered in the EU qualifiers. And then Wafer, former coach of Luminosity. And's been coaching in Tier 2 for a while. Coached Space Station Academy. Was an analyst for Astralis during their SI run. Coached Wichita Wolves back in the day. So he's been a North American coach for a long time. A little bit of Brazilian experience as well. So obviously not the cream of the crop pickups, but another APAC team. It's Mir? Fair enough. Another APAC team. That's Grace. My bad. Another APAC team picking up European and international talent. I don't have a ton to say about the European pickups. I don't know anything. I won't say I don't know anything. I don't know a lot about Sloth or Blur. Blur, obviously, his record kind of speaks for himself, and I do think I think getting somebody on that G2 roster, even if it was inarguably the worst player in that G2 roster, is going to add a lot for a team that is clearly looking to build a better understanding of like how Siege is supposed to be played. But the Wafer pickup is kind of exciting to me. Mir Management actually reached out to me a couple of months ago, and they asked if there were any good coaches in NA, because they were building this project for Stage 2. And so I was actually the person who suggested Wafer to Mir Management many months ago. This was a while ago now. I listed a few different names that I thought could be good. But Wafer was on the list that I sent over to them, and I've been keeping in contact with their management for the last couple of months and been hearing about this. So it's super exciting. I really hope this team does well, because I do think Wafer has been grinding in kind of the low tier 1 to tier 2 parts of North America for a long time. So I'm a big fan of this team, and I want to see them do well. It's tough they're in Korea. Jeff has kind of been pointing out that, yes, all of APAC has really been bringing in a lot of imports, specifically in the coaching region. Like, if we just count let's go through and count the teams in APAC that have recently, or at some point in the recent times, picked up a foreign coach, okay? I don't believe anybody in the Japan League has. So Japan is kind of the island of not picking up imports. I think technically there's like an analyst, but they're not really. Yeah, I mean, Scars have a German analyst, but he's never really worked outside of Japan in like a tier 1 sense. I'm not really going to count that. There will be plenty of examples. So D+ picked up a international coach. FearX picked up an international coach. Talon picked up an international coach. Mir picked up an international coach. D+ have Midi. FearX have Dark. Talon have Fabian. Mir now have Wafer. So 4 teams in Korea. Just recently, Bliss picked up an international coach. Technically, they already had one in Mingaran, but they just picked up Titan, coming from G2. In APAC, we have Bleed, who have just signed, or who have had Julio in their roster for a while, and Daystar recently announced that they have signed Mr. B, of all fucking people, to come in and coach their squad. I think that's it for Southeast Asia. Elevate have, I guess, European coaching staff as well. Rando Sando. I don't really know who this is, to be perfectly honest with you. Kind of in the same boat as Scars, where they do have a support staff internationally, but never at the highest level. And then in meta, obviously, they have Falcons actually currently. I will count Eden, because Eden's played at the highest level. Eden was on M&M. Eden was the analyst for M&M, currently working for Falcons, and then of course GK have like the whole fucking rainbow of international players and coaches. Hellraiser most notably coming in as their coach from Ints and Miners and some other lower level teams. So, including meta in the... I don't think there's any other meta teams, are there? That have picked up international coaches? I don't think so. Does Twisted Minds have a French coach still? Oh, I guess Draz is coaching Twisted Minds. I didn't even hear about that. Alright. Yeah, that counts. Alright. So, let's include Scars and Elevate, who I didn't open tabs for. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 teams in APAC/meta that have imported European coaching staff. It is officially an epidemic, and I don't think it's a bad epidemic. Clearly, that's a huge trend that's come through. Did I miss any, by the way? I don't think so. There have been a fuck ton. There have been a few players as well. Kintrope? Kinotrope? Wait, who's this? Who? Picked up Liddell as a coach. Brother, who? Alright, I've never heard of this coach. I guess he was coaching Onyx Ravens, and I actually know Atualizado. They were a decent team last year. Is this a pro team? Oh, this is the former Vero squad. Okay. 14 then. We'll count this. Alright, fair enough. So 14 APAC teams now that have picked up international coaches. It's actually pretty insane, and I kind of noted this trend back like last year when there were only a couple of teams doing it, but it's gotten to the point where there's basically no teams in APAC/MENA that don't have international coaches. Like, I guess Cyclops is the only one that's like at all good and doesn't have any international players on their staff. The next best is probably Fury, right? And Chef Jeff's team, of course. Will not forget about whatever team Chef Jeff is currently on. I know you just announced a new roster. Are you still with Man? I guess there's not really I guess with is probably not the correct term. Yeah. Assuming this person, this person's from Australia. So we're really grasping at straws when we're looking at teams that do not currently have international coaches. I guess the trend was kind of started by what? Bleed kind of were early on the trend, and anybody who had it during like Atlanta, I feel was pretty early to the trend. Who had an international coach during Atlanta. I feel like Bleed were really the trendsetters. And the meta teams as well certainly came through with... and Sandbox were pretty early. Sandbox and Bleed, for me, were kind of the initial trailblazers of this. Yeah, Bliss had Mingaran, but he'd never really been at the top of Korea. And GK had, like, Aloe, but he'd never really been at the top of Europe or anything. And we're really at a point where it has fully taken over the league. What's up, Fresh? And then I think Fabian going to PSG Talent and finding so much success kind of pushed us into this new era where, like, if you're an APAC team now in 2024, you just must have an international coach. It's been a while since we had a show cat that's actually not been scammed. Come on. There we go. I woke her up, but she's fine. She's a rapscallion. So it's kind of insane. I believe Fresh was also spoken to about the Mir gaming changes. I assume more on the European players front. But I'm rooting for the team. It's gonna be tough because I think Korea is the strongest region outside the big three right now. Southeast Asia and Oceania are good as well, but I think I truly believe, and this is a hot take, but I truly believe in the next year or so, Korea will be consistently beating top teams from North America, Europe, and Brazil. I don't know if they'll ever win anything, but I do think within the next year, we're going to see PSG Talon and even teams like D+ and Sandblocks and maybe Mir start to get to the point where they're like pretty consistently placing top 8 in the world. Cap. Not without an import team? I think so. You don't think this fucking team that Talon's building can ever get top 8? Winning is probably a stretch, but like I genuinely think PSG Talon winning Invite is in the cards. I like the changes they're making a lot. Yas is a fucking hella hype pickup. Rheumatic, I know nothing about, but like Fabian said he was a gunner on Twitter. They did pretty well in Copenhagen, and that was their first stage as a squad. Now their practice is getting better and better with like D+ and Sandbox and Mirror starting to put up like more competition. So you're starting to get to the point where like the quality of practice is going to start to increase, which is, I think, an advantage that Korea has over regions like Australia and Southeast Asia. It's a hot take. It's a hot take. I know this. But I do think that we're going to see Korea... a year from now, I think Korea will solidly be the 4th best team. Or the 4th best region. And I think they'll be able to take games off the top teams of the other region. And I think PSG Town will be consistently top 8. Consistently top 8 is not that hard of a bar. I mean, Bliss have been consistently top 12 over the last year or so. Bleed have been consistently top like 12, 16. I get that fresh. I get that fresh. But it's not about how they are. It's about where they're going. It's about their potential. Right? I understand they are not there yet. But I think they have all the tools to get better. I think they are in an atmosphere that can get better. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. So that's my take on APAC. We kind of went on a bit of a ramble there. Let me open the one document and we can go through some more talking points. Go through some community news. Korean Super Team. This is what we just talked about. Yes, so I'm going to delete this. I match fixed. It was intentional. What? How good is Loira? I'm a big Loira believer. Check the stats Doki posted today. That's the one done. All right, before I look at what Doki posted, and I genuinely have not seen what Doki tweeted, I am a Loira believer. I really like Loira. The notes I took from him on Black Dragon this year, I was very impressed. I know his stats were not great. And I've seen this this Reddit thread. His stats on Black Dragons were not insane. But from what I saw of him in Brazil this stage, I thought he was a good player. Let's go see what Doki tweeted. Laura went 5-3 against whatever dog shit team this is. And then he went 2-6 against this dog shit team. Okay, okay. I understand. Fuck. I was really hoping the stats would be that he played well. But like this is a 7-1 and a 7-0. I don't think stats matter this much. I don't think it matters at all. If we look at his stats from I was really hoping they'd be good stats. I was really banking on that. If we look at his stats from stage 1, they weren't bad, right? They just weren't like amazing. CGG stats are going to be easiest to get. He is a gunner. He is a fragger. He's one of these young guys with a lot of potential, I feel. He went plus 14, 1.02 overall rating. Ash and Smoke is his main operators. Minus 10 on entry isn't great for an entry fragger. It's not ideal. But he was playing in the hardest region, and my eye test from Loira was that he had talent. Is he an amazing player? No, but I think he has talent. Turdsta, what's up? He's struggling in scrims too, supposedly. Let's go down the tweet that quotes there's more. Hold on. Oh, I see. Oh, no. Hey, top frags. Top fragged against, this terrible team. 9-3. Top fragged this one too. Wait, okay, it's better. It's actually better. When you played FPL with him, you got the impression his English wasn't great. Okay. That will be a problem, but not an unfixable problem. 6-2 versus these guys. 8-2 versus these guys. I mean, I just feel like these stats don't matter at all. who the fuck are any of these players in the enemy team? I actually don't think this... Whether he's doing great or not, I don't think it matters in the slightest. My take on G2 has been the same in that I know the community hates the move, but G2 had to make a risk. They had to take some kind of gamble, and I don't think this is that bad of a gamble on paper. I think the community is overplaying how bad this could be. It could turn out bad. This could be a disaster, and G2 might need to pull a... do exactly what they did with fucking that Italian guy, Gemini. And immediately cut them after Gamers 8. They might have to do one of those again. But I think these are good players to gamble on. I think Loira has a lot of potential, and Blaz... well, Blaz has played for a long time and never been great. So maybe that one doesn't really have the same potential. But I think Loira has a lot of potential. Let me go look at my notes for Loira and just kind of reread what I wrote about him when we watched Brazil Stage 2. This is the good thing about having spreadsheets. I sure as fuck don't remember much about Brazilian Stage 1, but we have notes, so we can at least tell what I thought way back then. All right. Black Dragons. Their game against E1, he had a big clutch defending on bank. He had pretty good plant coverage on attack. Attacking on bank as well. No mistakes noted from him in that game against E1. His game against Liquid, this was back when Liquid were bad, don't forget. He did ace against Team Liquid, that's right. I may have watched some of his best games. But he got an ace against Team Liquid in Stage 1, and my note was just Loira in all caps. He kind of popped off that whole game too, so that was a big one for him. Let's go find it. It was here, and then would have been this game here. Yeah, 131 EPS, 10 and 6 overall. 10 and 6 overall isn't actually that great, given that he had an ace. That means in the other 9 rounds, he only got 4 or 5 kills. That's not that bad. That's not that bad. It's not great. So he's had his moments. I think mechanically he's a great player. I have heard the comment that he's inconsistent, and I could definitely believe that. He's a young guy. I think he's 19. The other thing I noticed about Loira, when watching him play, he's loud. Don't forget that Brazil is played on LAN, and there were many clips where Loira was just like standing up and shouting at the opponent. He was very talkative in Brazil. No idea what he was saying. I don't speak Portuguese, but he was very active when I watched him play in Brazil. Loved to shout at the opponents when things were going well for them. So I hope he brings good energy. I think he'll be good. Well, I hope he'll be good. I don't want to really give too many impressions, but we shall see. Again, tomorrow, G2 play against Wolves in the EWC Open qualifiers. I 100% would watch this game, but it is written in the rules. Oh, you can't fucking see what I'm looking at. It is written in the rules that there are no community casts allowed, which is kind of shitty. But that's 10 a.m. tomorrow. That's about 4 hours ago. So in about 20 hours, they'll be playing. The loser is not out of EWC. The loser goes to the lower bracket where they will play. I think they'll probably fall to this spot right here because the bracket should flip. So they'll probably play against Wild, the loser of G2 Wolves, for the final EWC spot. But I'm guessing. I could be wrong on that. Actually, yeah, because the bracket is bigger than this. I'm not sure. He'll go to one of these spots. The math on how the lower bracket slips on a big double elim bracket is kind of hard. I couldn't imagine the feeling of being a T3 team being matched against G2 round 1. Yeah. So yeah, how good is Loira? A lot of people are, in this Reddit thread, if I'm correct, are basically just shitting on him. Being mid on Black Dragons is something almost every Brazilian has been through. Yeah, and this is like a pretty negative post. Loira had a 1.00 and a 1.02 rating in Brazil. Playing frag heavy ops, he was -10 on entries. Again, I think my general take on him is just that, like, yeah, his stats aren't great, but like the potential is there, and like you don't need him to be putting up ridiculous consistent stats on Black Dragons. You just need him to have good mechanics and be teachable. That's the biggest thing, right? He's got to be teachable. What's up, Kenny? Kenny, congratulations on beating your academy team today. How much overlap, if you don't mind me asking, is there in... Fresh is asking the same question as me. Is there in, like, the strats and the, like, ideas between ITB and ITB Academy? Didn't nearly lose. Yeah, I mean, the games were 7-2, 7-4, and you lost an 8-7. But how much, like, did you know what they were going to do, and how much did they know what you're going to do? How much does it actually work as, like, a separate team? They have zero connection? Okay. Then why the fuck are they an academy team? That's my follow-up question. If you guys have zero connection to them and they have zero connection to you, why do they exist? Like, because I get the idea of an academy team. When Space Station had an academy team, do they still? Does SSG Academy still exist? I know for a fact there was some effort being put into... Oh yeah, they still exist. There was some effort from the SSG support staff of, like, Callout and at the time, Mango, to improve on and work on these players, and then the idea is that eventually maybe they could pick up some of them. So I get that idea of the game. I'm just looking, did any of these players ever make it to tier 1? Yeah, Eddie did. Tysus is on Liquid now. Wafer is on that new Korean team. So some of these players have gone somewhere. The most recent ones haven't yet, but they're still early in their careers. But yeah, what the fuck is the point of an academy team if you guys have no connection? You'd like to have involvement in them, but there's no tier 2 scene in Europe, so there's no point. So is the idea that, like, you're just gonna wait around for competitions and then you're gonna start working with them? Because, I mean, there are some competitions, right? Like, obviously, they just played in EBUC qualifiers. So that's a competition. And then South Breach is coming up. Or I think Central Combine is the next one to come up. Central Combine. They just announced it. Is it on my document? No. They announced that this is coming back. Right? So this will be something for Tier 2 to play. This is, I think, supposed to be the main Tier 2 tournament of the summer. Obviously, it's not a lot. Like, it's 1 week of quals, probably, and then 1 week of the main event. I think it's a couple weeks in the main event, actually. Yeah, it's almost a full month of the main event. So, I mean, if ITBA can get into this, that's a good fucking competition to be in. They announced 4 last week. Like, 4 Tier 2 competitions? Yeah. It's already past the point of us deciding how to use the academy team. Okay, fair, but then how are you using the academy team? Maybe it's just not being used well, and that's just what it is. I guess my question is, I don't see the benefit of paying for the academy team to you guys, right? Like, in theory, an academy team should benefit the main team in some way, shape, or form. I don't see that benefit, but maybe it just doesn't exist. Or decision. Fair enough. Fair enough. We can definitely talk about the rosters that are in Element 3. There's a lot of teams already in Element 3. So, Space Station, Sonics, Oxygen, LG were all invited to, like, Phase 2, basically. And then Phase 1, there were a ton of invites. Makers, SSG Academy, Fluffy Aimers, which is the JJ Blast squad with, like, Nick and Rice. Rival and Deity. 6K, Mexican team, Sintroniga, Mexican team, Cruelty, Mexican team, I should say, Brazilian team playing in Mexico for 6K. Aerial Rise, the Poison Squad, my favorite player, Karn and Co, and Wildcard were all invited to like phase 1. Supposedly there's another invite coming out at some point, not sure. And then Qualifier 1 sent 3 teams. Qualifier 1 sent the Fox A stack, which you probably have heard of at this point, unless you're living under a rock. Aim Key and Twist. And then Glowmoji's team. The Academy team is not paid, but they're paid a little. I assume they're given something. Or else why would they even rock the ITB logo? And then Qualifier 2 starts in about an hour 45. Glowmoji team, the Axis powers. Chill. Chill. And then, yes, the next set of element qualifiers start in about an hour 45, which we're going to watch the first game. I can't watch the whole thing, but there will be other streams going on to watch the whole thing. All right. Let's watch this one because I saw this announcement, but I haven't watched the video. And the comment is, what is this video? So I've deadass not watched this. So obviously, Alems, who I've never said anything bad about, is going to ENTS. Let's watch this and learn.
Today we got. Hello everybody. Today we're gonna try to learn how to count in French.
Okay.
Number 1.
Oh yeah, number 1 is
Un.
Number 2.
Dos. Deux. I'm counting in
Number
Spanish.
Oh, I know this. It's 3.
Trois. Okay.
Number 4. It's
Quatre. Quatre? Quatre? I learned this in school. Quatre? Quatre.
easy. It's 4.
Alright, my pronunciation's not amazing. But I'm kind of getting them.
4. Number 5.
Sept? No. That's like 8 or 7. Un, deux, trois, quatre, cent. It's like cent or something, right?
Where is number 5?
Oh, hello guys. You good? How are you people? You good? It's here for the ranked stack? Yeah. Okay, let's go guys. Let's go. But guys, we need to be 5 to play Rainbow Six, right? And that's why I'm here. And 5.
Sank!
Oh, hello! Oh, hello guys! Oh, forget about it.
The French they teach in Alberta is not the highest of qualities. I like the move. I think ENTS desperately needs some experience on that roster. That team had 0 players that had ever played Tier 1 before, and they had 6 players. So it's kind of a feat to have a 6-man roster and none of them have any experience. I'm glad they have some now. I'm a little concerned that they almost lost to a pub stack an hour ago. A little concerned they almost lost to a ranked team, but they didn't. They won the overtime round 15 on Oregon, so they're fine. Yeah, I think it's a good move for them. I think it's a good move overall. I think Alems will improve that team. Is Alems a long-term player that can win a hammer? Probably not. Is he a player that can hopefully teach some of these guys and raise the team to a higher level? I hope so. I've called them a ranked team. Are they not? Have they been scrimming? My mistake if they're a real team. But they're called fucking Ma-Man Jaegers. I assumed they were a ranked team. It was a good announcement trailer. I like that a lot. I like it when teams don't take themselves too seriously. They had 3 days of practice. All right, fair enough. Hey, that's more practice than the BBC squad's gonna have for tonight, so fucking, I'll give it that. Would the return of the B-Leaguers podcast save Siege? So here's the thing, right? Were the B-Leaguers podcast to return, I'll draw it out for you, actually. So it's pretty simple. Here is Rainbow 6, right? Rainbow 6. This is money. Okay, and this is time. Right? This is today. This is future. Okay? Chat, remember your axes are always important. This is no B-leaguers, right? And this is yes, B-leaguers. So if the B-leaguers were to return today, let's say we're right about here for Rainbow Six money, okay? We've seen better days, but we're not that bad, right? Jinxie still exists. So right now we're kind of on this path. Were the B-leaguers to return, right, at this point in time today, we would go boom, right? And then we go boom. Right, and then we might exist for a little bit longer. And we go boom, right? And we continue on. And then we go slump because, you know, you can't listen to Flynn for that long. But in the long run, we would be up. All right, as we go to the future, things would go well. And the key thing to note here is the jump would happen very early, okay? Now let's watch what happens when there's no B-leaguers, right? So we exist to the present day as we have. And unfortunately, Siege, you know, we're kind of struggling. Right? And things don't really go as well as they could. And then people remember, wait a minute, we don't have to listen to Flynn every week. And we go, boom! But then people kind of miss Sam. They miss having podcasts to listen to. Right? Maybe they remember Jake and Guz exist, but that doesn't last very long either. And then at this point, you know, we kind of just end up sad. It's a sad timeline. So Flynn, I hope you're watching this. I hope you're seeing this. Because the power is in your hands. I hope that cleared it up. Isn't E3 quals right now? E3 quals is in about 2 hours. All you know is your Hubba Bear Virtue got what he deserved on Secret. We'll see how Secret do with Virtue. I feel like I'm such a... I feel like I have no hot takes. My hot takes are all positive. There's no roster move I'm looking at in this offseason that I'm like, that's dog shit. Because I'm like, I think G2 had to make a risk. I'm fine with the risk they're taking. I think all the players where G2 players went will improve their respective teams. I like Benja to SSG. I like Titan to Bliss. I like Virtue to Secret. I think all three of those teams would get better with their new pickups. I don't mind the ends change. I think it'll improve them. Really, I think just there's a lot of... Okay, I don't know about the Wolves changes. I guess I'll say that one. I think the Wolves changes are bad. That'll be my negative take. Who's IGLing now? It was Miracle. It was not Miracle. It's Savage. There you go. Kenny would know better than I would. If I have to hate on a roster move, I'll hate on Wolves roster moves. I don't know who either of these players are. I don't think they cut the right players. Justice for Bibu. That's my take on Wolves. What the hell? We can talk about Benj to SSG. Obviously, we've talked about this for weeks because it's been rumored for weeks. But the announcement was very funny. It's very clear the difference between a French announcement and the difference between an American announcement. Short and sweet. You can't remember which one, but one of them has a horrible reputation as a person. What? Dude, all Fresh does is jump into my chat and, like, spread rumors. Loira's doing shit in scrims. Some player on Secret is toxic. No, I've said this a million times, but I'll repeat myself here. I think SSG is building one of the scariest fucking rosters in Siege. The pure fucking... I don't know if I love the way they play the game. Oh, Wolves. My bad. Okay. But, like, SSG now have 4 of the best players in the world, in my opinion. And then they have Forrest, who, if they just put him on Monty, is going to be great. They got 4 insane players, and they've got a pretty good player who can play Monty. That's a scary fucking team. And I really think Space Station's going to be a top a threat. I think Jane I know is one of the best players in the world. I think Ashen is incredibly talented. I think Faltz is incredibly talented. And I think Benj is incredibly talented. And I hope as well that, obviously, like, the problem with Benja is he's been extremely inconsistent, right? Very classic problem of a gunning player who, you know, is undoubtedly talented, but has games where he just doesn't look, you know, he just falls apart some games. And it's a lot of games too, right? Like, it's not like it's once every 3 months. It's like, it feels like it's once every week or two. Benja has a game where he just disappears. But my hope is that on a team with a better culture, Benj is going to do a lot better. I think G2... I don't know. I mean, there have always been rumors about G2 being a very kind of stressful team. Alamau, maybe an emotional leader. And I think that can definitely cause tilt sometimes. I don't want to read in too much about the internals of a team. Reddit does that enough. I don't need to add on to that without being a part of the team. But I think it's definitely possible that the culture wasn't really working for Benja. And SSG, on the other hand, I think has maybe the best culture of any team in the world. You know, they're very disciplined. They're almost a cult of a team, Space Station Gaming. The shit I've heard about that squad and what they do. And what I've seen from them, too. I mean, they're just very much like a brotherhood. They clearly believe in each other a ton. They support each other a ton. They work out together. They game together. Like, in my opinion, SSG has a very positive culture. Just not the be-all, end-all. But I do think it's important for a player like Benja. I think it's something Beast Coast are very good at, too. I think Beast Coast won Manchester almost, not exclusively off. They have a lot of good things going for them. But I think if Beast Coast didn't have the culture that they had, they wouldn't have won Manchester. Even if they had all the same players, all the same strats. Moozy's buyout was 60K. You think Benja will be on better roles than SSG2? I hope so. What roles was he playing on G2? Let me bring up my numbers. What ops was Benja playing for G2? In Manchester. And ops are not one-to-one to roll, obviously, but stats-wise, the closest thing we have. A lot of Buck, a lot of Mute Mira on defense is kind of odd. And then a lot of, like, Buck, Ace, Flores, Habana. Not really fragging operators either. Jack, are you thinking they're just going to give him more freedom? Put him on more, like, frag-focused operators? Not that Buck can't get frags or anything, but... he was playing a lot more utility-focused ops, certainly, I think, in Manchester. Yeah, I mean, I think a front line of fucking Benja, Ashen, and Jane I know to flex around the team is, like, fucking scary, dude. That's so scary. It's like an incredibly terrifying setup. Not necessarily ops, but freedom opportunity spots. Yeah. Will I be streaming the North American Esports World Cup Open qualifiers? I'm not allowed. I would. I would, but it is written into the rules that there are no community casts allowed of the Esports World Cup Open Quals of any region. Sorry. Is the next major in the land of the free? Next major's in Canada. Ashen might be the best entry in Siege. Not the best player, but definitely the best entry. He's up there. 100%. No, he's very, very good. Is that too loud? I don't think so. All right. Benja to SSG, we've covered that. Then the next SI is in the US. Yes. Next SI is unannounced, but US East Coast. Is Edmonton winning the cup? You better fucking believe they are. Canada, land of the liberals. Americans are so funny, man. Such weird little people in their little politics bubble. Coach Nello. This one's fun. I've not watched this video. I don't know if the video is anything special. Gonna be tough to compete with the last one.
Hello everyone, it's Nello from the WildCard 6 team. As we all know, the last stage didn't go that well for us. And it was a hard time for everybody within the team. So moving forward, now it's the off season and we have time to make some changes. So one of these off season changes will be me stepping down from the player role into a coaching role. It's a decision that's not been easy to make, especially since I've been playing for such a long periods of time. But I'm confident it's the right way for the future of the team and myself. So overall, I'm really excited for what the future brings. And I'm really looking forward for the next UL stage.
They made him apologize for the shit season. Oh boy, yeah. Wild are another kind of silly team. Wild are one of those teams that, like, I don't think they'll ever do anything. Is this a positive change? Probably. What roster are they playing with in EWC? Because obviously they've been playing open quals. They lost today? Surely they didn't lose today. Oh, they've been in the... Who did they lose to, actually? Because they're in the lower bracket. Who did Wild lose to? Wild R6. Oh, they lost to Virtus Pro. Okay. Not a bad team. I mean, not great recent performances, but not a bad team to lose to. And they're playing with Teb, Fret, Curly, Lolo. Oh, yeah. They picked up the Italians. We knew this. We knew this. I like Aqui. I think I have a TikTok about this guy. Wait, is it Aqui or Lolo I have a TikTok about? It's bad that I don't remember which it was. Wait, hold on. It was a while ago. I don't remember. I can't find it. I got spanked today by VP. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this wild roster does anything, frankly. I mean, I think Nello as a player has always been a very traditional hard support, right? Mechanically, not the best at the game. Individually, never one to really pop off, but kept around for his IGL skills. I guess they feel that hasn't really gone to plan, and so they put him on coach. Sure. I think it's pretty clear Nello knows the game very well, and I think I hope he'll be a good coach. But All in all, this is one of those roster moves that's like, whatever. I don't think this team ever makes it to an international event. So. There you go. Wow, I could bring on Jesus as a coach and he'd still be mid? Yeah, like. Mr. B. Daystar. The CEO of Daystar was in my chat the other day. Maybe it wasn't the CEO. It was Pendy, right? I think it was Pendy in my chat. There was somebody from CEO organization in my chat. And, they said they had some exciting news coming up. I didn't know it was Mr. B. I love Mr. B. I'm like the biggest fucking Mr. B fan. You know, it's tough that his team dropped him and all of a sudden they became the best team in the world. Daystar, I think, finished bottom 2 in Southeast Asia. They're a Hong Kong team. They're the number 1 team in Hong Kong is who Daystar are. Yeah. They finished dead last in the Southeast Asian quals, which means they lost to the Indian teams. Which is tough. Wait, they beat Knock Knock, so they must have lost to Hasib Warriors. Yeah. It is... If you're losing to a team from Bangladesh, that's a really bad sign. We'll say that. We'll say that. Although Hasib wants peace is fucking a nasty player. So is Doctor. This team is actually, like, not the worst team, but, like, still. But now they have Mr. B. This is similar to the Nello change for me. I don't think they're Hong Kong honking. I don't think this team does anything. Mr. Beast. I said Mr. Beast, Mr. B. They got Mr. B. You know. They won't make anything international, but I'm happy for Mr. B. I hope he's getting the bag. That's another team to add. We had a list of 14 teams that had international. No, we had this team as well, actually. Yeah. One of the 14 APAC teams with an international coach now. Mr. B leads them to Cancun. Yeah, it's whatever. We'll continue the wild change wild train quickly. Quickly. Wait, this is Valorant news. Who wins in a fight, Nello or Mr. B? Wait, the real questions are being asked. Nello or Mr. B? On one side, coming in at 19 years old. He's only, 27 years old. October 19th. Coming in at 27 years old. Weighing 105 pounds, we've got Nello. Rocking in from Croatia. Tall motherfucker, I'll tell you that. A handsome lad, once had an insane clutch on a Tokoname stage casted by Flynn. Since then, he has yet to do much. Been to many 6 invitationals. And on the other side, we have Mr. B. Zero Liquipedia player page, but he has sick-ass sunglasses on in his player profile on Twitter. 20 years old. British. But lives in the United States. Perhaps moving to Hong Kong. Unsure on his height. I don't think he's as tall as Nello. I actually did meet Mr. B once in person. I met him at La Scratch, which is insane. It'll be a tough battle. It'd be a tough head-to-head. I think Mr. B, he comes in with a lot of confidence, a lot of swagger into the fist fight. Nello doesn't ooze intimidation. Right? I think Mr. B has more of the vibe of a fighter down. But what you've got to remember is that Nello's got the experience. Nello's an Eastern European, which is scary as fuck. Dianic knows what I'm talking about. And Nello's also coming in as a sleeper pick. You know, a lot of people I think would be doubting Nello coming into it. I think Mr. B gets the first hit in. Mr. B gets the first good strike. Nello, shockingly, stands into it, takes it, and then comes back. Boom. Right hook, one shot, knocks down Mr. B. That's my take. Mr. B punching the air during his matches he's training. My take is Nello comes in with the second swing and wins it out. Mr. B will be faster, but he won't clutch up. You're Serbian? I thought you were Austrian. Alright, I don't know why I was linked to this. I think this is a Valorant post. I think this guy is dog shit. I don't know who he is. But we'll be spicy for the stream. Long story, you're applying for dual citizenship. Nice. Mr. B is Eastern European, Northeastern European. Mr. B is almost as Western European as you can get. I know technically there are countries more west than the UK, but I think culturally the UK's got to be the most Western European nation. And on top of that, right, Mr. B traveled from the United Kingdom westwards to the United States. Mr. B is so Western European, he left Europe to go west. I don't think you get much more Western European than that. As you walk left on this map, your physical fighting strength just reduces. Yeah, I stand by that. I don't think there are exceptions. Maybe France should be like out in an island. I think anybody from France loses to every other country. But otherwise, it's pretty much the farther right you go on this map, the better you are at fighting. The farther left, the worse you are at fighting. And that unfortunately does continue to the Americas. I do hate to say that. EFAC can take any fight, fucker in a fist fight. EFAC is scary. I interviewed EFAC in Manchester, and he said, I don't know if I think I did. I think I interviewed him in Manchester. And he's like, yeah, I don't have time to go to the gym, so I just do 50 push-ups every morning in my hotel room. And I'm like, what the fuck? Bro, I haven't done 50 push-ups in my lifetime. You're doing 50 every morning? That guy's built like a truck. Would I like to review your Ranky spreadsheet and see the changed cheater stats? I would love to, Jack. Post it in chat. You're going to get timed out for 5 seconds, but it's fine. I do not understand. As EFAC is the largest of the French, why does he not simply eat the other French? Fantastic reference. Other French people. Bro, anybody that says I'm the biggest nerd in the scene is such a fucking loser. Look at this shit. You're telling me I'm the biggest nerd in the scene, and Jack has a spreadsheet for the cheaters he's playing in ranked. Okay. So let's see. This is from December 2024. Sorry, no, this is from the start of the season. So this is the 12th of June, 2024. I forgot Europeans write their dates wrong. So, since the season started, Fresh has played 115 games of ranked. Impressive. I don't know what filter means. Playing multiple games. Is he playing every day? 12, 13. Missed the 14th. What day was that? Missed last Friday. Okay. 15th, 16th, 17th. Bro, how many games are you playing? Dude. How many games is this? This is 53 months. You played 20 ranked games in one day, Jack? How many had cheaters? Where is that? Where's the cheater stat? All right, hold on. Of the 20 games Jack played in one day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of them had cheaters. Sick, bro. Sick. Fun that you played the same cheater team back to back. That's insane. All right, back to the dates. You played 20 ranked games on the 17th. You played 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st. You've played cheaters today, I assume. Bro. Yep. You're playing with Flynn. You're playing with Ace. You're playing with X. You're playing with Nick. You're playing with Stiggy. You're playing with Leon Gids. You're recording the map. Jesus Christ. There's an NA in here that you didn't win, nor did you lose. You, Sathis, and Jackers played Clubhouse. You need a notes section. What's going on with this one? How did you not win or lose or play any rounds? You did do bans. What's the maximum of cheaters you've played in a game? 4 cheaters in one game. And this was on your... This was the very start of your fucking marathon 20 ranked games day. Cancel? Okay. I see. There's teammates tabs? Oh, I gotta know who's good in your stack. Bro, the fact that you track who is good at your fucking stats is good in your stack is insane. All right. Cheater games versus legit. You had 1 stream snipe game supposedly. You've had no DDoS games. That's nice. All right, so games with cheaters on the enemy team, that's 39% of games. Hold on, I gotta fill up my water. I'll be 2 seconds. I didn't realize there were more tabs. So you're winning 32% of games against cheaters? Is that what I'm seeing? You've never had 5 cheaters in a game. Technically, this could be up to 9, right? I don't know why you stop it at 5. So in general, wait. Oh, I see. So in general, 52% of your games have a cheater. 48% of them are legit. Okay, okay, okay. That's super fun. You're surrendering 27% of the time against cheaters. Why don't you just surrender all of them? Yeah, I assume this is manually tracked. There's no shot this is data that isn't tracked manually. All right. Your teammates. Legit total rounds, total rounds. Games played, games canceled, cheater games. So this is which of your teammates are doing the best against cheaters. So Coded is doing the best against cheaters. Pengu's doing pretty well against cheaters. Sathis does pretty well against cheaters. Leon does pretty well against cheaters. Yeah. Who plays the most cheaters? Dearly plays the most cheaters. Followed by Leon Gids. Tom J. Sherlock has faced 0 cheaters. Dude, queue with Tom more. I see. I mean, I assume most of this autofills, but it's still insane that you've got to fill in so much data. Tell me at least, like, this shit autofills. Like, you're not... Okay, yeah, I see the formulas. These stats are kind of interesting. Which maps are appearing in vetoes versus not in vetoes. So Labs is appearing lots in vetoes. Borders appearing lots in vetoes. Villas appearing lots in vetoes. Oregon, Coastline, and Lair are not. There have been claims at times that Ubisoft changes these numbers on the back ends to encourage people to play certain maps. Although I can't imagine them discouraging Lair and encouraging Border. But I could definitely see them, like, discouraging Oregon. Your Outback banners and Emerald Plains banners. Fair enough, bro. Fuck those maps. What the fuck is this? Alright, top 3 teammates. We have Leon Gids, Max Sniper Ridge. I don't know who this is. And then Sathis. Leon Gids leads the crowd with 2/3 of his games being cheater games. But Max Sniper Ridge is owning... Oh, we're changing it now. We've updated it. We're updating stats live. Alright, Jackers now is... You can toggle this? I don't know what this is toggling. Oh, are you just changing who this is? Ah, I see. No, you're good. Max Sniper is doing the best against cheaters. Sathis is doing well against cheaters too. And data validation. Jack, you have too much time on your hand. Jack, you have too much time on your hands. It is one thing to play 20 ranked games in a day. It is so much more to do this. You've taken it too far. That's the most Siege Analyst thing I've ever seen. That's the most Siege Analyst thing I've ever seen. All for the Twitter infographics, bro. Fair enough. Thank you for sharing that with me. That was excellent. All right. There is a new oxygen guy on the board. Hat has joined OXG. I like Hat a lot. I'm a Hat fan. I'm a Hat supporter. But it's kind of a weird move to me. Oxygen are just a weird fucking team, man. They've, for so long, been just so mid. And I don't mean that, you know, derogatorily. I just mean they've just been good, but never good enough to make international competition for a very long time. Genuinely, what excites me more than this is the fact they're getting a new coach in. I'm excited to see if they can bring some analytics into the team. If that does, if that makes some changes. Because my understanding is the team does not really have many analytics compared to what the top teams have. Maybe I'm wrong. But that's my understanding of things. Hat is a solid player. He's probably a better player than Dream. Newers is ass and a baiter. Newers is not ass. I think the biggest problem is I don't know if Newers... It's kind of mean to say, but I don't know if Newers has been putting in like 100%. the entire time he's been on Oxygen. Like, I just feel like this team hasn't been, like... This team's just been disappointing time and time again. And they have good players. Like, Newers is good. Yogg is a very hard player to judge. Because sometimes he does absolutely terribly and sometimes he does very well. Diaz is a player I think is very, very good. Gomez, I think, is also tough to judge. And Hat is good. He has his moments, but I don't think he's like... I don't think Hat solves the problems of Oxygen. You know? Who's calling on that team? It was Fox, and then I don't know who it was last stage, actually. Do I have it in my notes? I might. I need to open my correct notebook. I do write down IGLs when I get them, but I don't like keep it that up to date, so I don't know if I'll have it for Oxygen. No, I don't have anything written down. Oh wait, that's not Oxygen. I'm not sure who's calling on this team. It was Dream before. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe Diaz? I mean, Diaz Lucas certainly has the most passive kind of job. He's definitely... Diaz Lucas is famous for being, like, having, like, the least deaths of any player ever. Diaz Lucas might be the most passive player in all of professional Rainbow Six. So I think he would make the most sense, but honestly not sure. Yogg is one of the quietest people I've ever met. Newers is entry, so it'd be weird if he called maybe Gomez. It's probably something they're still working through, to be honest, because they are such a brand new roster. They're probably still trying to figure that out, who's calling for them. They probably have somebody calling, but it may change throughout the next couple of months, couple of weeks. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think this Oxygen roster is going to make top 8. Or is going to make international events. I just think currently the other NA teams are too good. Like, I think the top 4 teams in North America are all just better than Oxygen. And I don't think Hat changes that. I think Newers is a great player. I think Diaz is a great player. I think Gomez and Yogg have potential. I think Hat has potential, but like... I just don't see him being there. And they just... I hate to say it, but I just think the changes need to be more drastic than they have been. I think losing Dream is unfortunately... I love Dream. I think it's unfortunately a step in the right direction. I don't think Dream can hang at the highest level right now. I think Yogg's been pretty poor in some tournaments. I think mentally they're a very weak team. I just feel like this team is like frustrating me, man. This would be a good team to talk about more when NAL was fresh in my mind, because I don't remember a lot about what I thought about Oxygen. Let me read some of my notes. Dream was struggling. They were trying to go for a lot of, like... They were trying to do a lot of, like, very plant-focused attacks. I feel like they never really figured out their attacks. Was part of the reason why they were struggling. Their defenses weren't amazing either. The clock ended up being a big problem. I felt like they tried to introduce a lot of like Monty plays with Dream. They kind of read in that that was the meta, but they ended up just going so slow with a lot of them that they would stall out, lose to like Goyo strats and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't think Oxygen right now necessarily have like a player problem, but I just feel like as a team, they're not playing that well. And I don't see them beating these other teams. I think on an individual level, they're just worse than the top teams right now. And I think on a team level, they're worse than the top teams right now. But they're not bad as individuals. They're kind of bad as a team, right? But I'm also judging them from like months ago, so it's very hard to say. We'll see what they can do. They've certainly got the experience, but I'm starting to. I think with this team, you're starting to get to the point where you might just need to consider blowing it up. Boob card. Yeah, a lot of people are talking about the new WildCard CEO. Is it on the Wikipedia yet? Lazy Wikipedia editors. WildCard have a new owner. It is streamer and OnlyFans model, Amaranth. People were talking about this a lot. I don't think this is that weird of a pickup. I don't think having Amaranth on as a owner is that odd. People were talking about it a lot, but I really don't think it matters. There have been a lot of successful streamer-led esports orgs. I think we're starting to get to the point where, like, if you're an esports org, you kind of have to take streamer money or Saudi money. Because traditional investment money doesn't really exist, and esports are not really profitable. Some orgs are kind of profitable, like SSG kind of does their best to be, you know, a decent business from my understanding. I think Sonic still have a lot of traditional investors. Dark Zero still have, like, that traditional investor money. I think M80 runs a drug cartel. I don't know where the fuck their money comes from. But I think streamer-funded teams is actually probably the future. We're seeing a lot of teams outside of Siege, such as Moist and Disguised, be like really creator-focused teams. This is obviously different from that, but I think a creator funding a team and pushing their fans towards a team is probably the best business model for esports orgs right now. Now, are Amaranth fans gonna want to watch Rampy? The struggle for Wildcard will be, can you get Amaranth viewers to care about Bosco clutches? That's gonna be the problem for Wildcard's business. Now, I'd like to say yes. I think Bosco clutches are pretty entertaining. Will Amaranth viewers care? To be determined, but that's gonna be the struggle for Wildcard. Yeah, and you can kind of see that too, in the Amaranth announcement video. All of these are like creators that own esport orgs, right? Ludwig and Moist own the Moist Moguls. Disguised owns Disguised Toast. So this is clearly like the angle they're going for. They're trying to be a creator-focused esports org. I don't know if there's much overlap. Right now. As for what I think of the team, I think they're kind of mid. I don't know, man. WildCard are kind of like the Wild of North America, I feel. Good players, for sure. Potential, maybe. Yeah, absolutely. Will they ever play an international tournament? Probably not. WildCard, seemingly are not making any changes. There have been no rumors about it. I don't believe they played in any official tournaments recently, or even unofficial tournaments. So I don't think we've actually seen their roster in action. But it seems as though, other than Amaranth joining, they're not really making any roster moves. I like the Bosco. Here's my silver lining. I think bottom line, I don't really believe in this team. I don't think this team will make top 4 in North America. I think they don't have good enough players, and they're not playing well enough as a team. Similar to Oxygen. I don't know if I believe in this squad. But if I was going to create like a hopium, if I was going to create my pitch for WildCard, it is perhaps a good sign that they didn't make any changes. Because they just brought in Bosco, an extremely experienced and talented player, who had his ups and downs in Stage 1. I think he came out the gate really hot for WildCard, slowed down maybe a bit mid to late of the season. But WildCard ultimately, they had a really bad map pool in Stage 1, but fundamentally they did look good on the maps that they knew how to play. They looked well. You know, they didn't look amazing. They looked good. I think the fact that they're sticking together for so long shows that they clearly have trust in this roster, and there's some very smart and experienced players on this roster. Right? There's some very experienced players on this roster, so if they can look at it and think, you know what, we've got something special here despite our poor results, that means something, right? That's not nothing. Now, from an outsider's POV, do I see that? No. No, I don't. But I do think that, you know, if you're going to put your faith in anybody, putting your faith in guys like Bosco and Rampy, and even guys like fucking Meepy and Dispa, Justin, I think those are pretty good people to put your trust in. So, that's wildcard. Do they need a more clear voice on that team? I don't think so. I mean, I feel that, like, from what I mean, I feel like they're a pretty vocal fucking team, right? Rampy's a pretty loud guy. Kansan maybe not so much, Vertical maybe not so much, but I think Bosco can speak up when needs to. And from talking with Laxing, because if you remember, Laxing teamed with Spiker on Parabellum. Spiker is like a pretty solid IGL too. Like he's competent in the IGL. You know, he knows how to lead a team. He can definitely do good calling. Is he still their IGL? I assume so. It's possible they swapped the Bosco. I don't think so, though. So, we'll see for wildcard. They're not hopeless. They have a chance, but I don't know if I wouldn't bet on them personally. NA teams seem mid. Beast Coast Loaders won the major. I've talked about this a lot on stream, but I think even outside of East Coast, NA is very strong right now. I mean, North America have the best attacking teams in the world, statistically, and I think stylistically as well. We're in a very kind of Montaigne-focused meta, and I think North America has the best Monties in the world, along with a couple of other things that have pushed North Americans to be the best attacking region in the world. And yeah, I think NA is in a very good spot right now. My region ranking right now goes NA, Brazil, Europe, Korea, Southeast Asia, Australia, Japan, I guess, and then Hispanic LATAM, and then South Asia, maybe. Who knows? What do I do for the Oilers game? I don't know. I'm going to see what's going on downtown. I don't think I'll go to the pit because it's a Friday. It's going to be too hard to get in, but I'll see if there's any restaurants or bars open. EU hater, that's what I'm hearing. Europe just don't attack one enough right now. I think fundamentally there's not enough good Monty players in Europe to be the top region, and Monty is the best op in the game. And even though BDS got second in Manchester, I mean, Fett said it himself. He didn't think BDS were the second best team at that event. I'll take Fett's word on that. We talked about the SSG changes. You can rewind the stream if you'd like, but ultimately I think they're a very scary team. They're going to do well. Do I like the NIP changes? What were they? They got fantasy, right? Yeah, they got fantasy and hates. Now, if you've been watching the stream for a while, you know fantasy is my all-time favorite player. I love fantasy. There is nobody I would rather watch play Rainbow Six Siege than fantasy. So on that basis alone, I love the NIP changes. Do I think fantasy's a good player? No, that's very different. Fantasy is the most all-aim, no-brain player in the history of Rainbow Six Siege. He is a joy to watch because he puts himself in the stupidest positions, and then like half the time he guns his way out of him anyways. Fantasy is very fun. What about Poison? Okay, maybe Poison is better aim than Fantasy. That's a top two. No, I love Fantasy. As a player, he's very fun to watch. I don't think he brings NIP out of the Dark Ages. I don't think he takes NIP out of the Dark Ages. I think NIP are kind of cooked. Hates is another player I don't really have a lot of thoughts on. I don't know. Was Muzi the problem? Probably fucking not. I can't imagine Muzi doesn't end on a team unless he's retired officially. Did he say anything? Professional player and... He does have a pretty big stream. Doesn't he? I think so. He's grinding X-Defiant. Alright. Yeah, he's done. Is he playing on Raza Company? Is that what he's doing? I know Raza Company is in the open quals. I'll let you know, Axon. He did play on Raza Company. He's not anymore. He's taking a break. Okay. I think NIP broadly downgraded, to be honest with you. I'll do the same thing I did for WildCard. Like, I don't believe in NIP. But my, like, copium take of NIP, if I'm going to give you the silver lining, the best case scenario, is that fantasy's problems are solvable. We looked at the bracket. I knew that, Thunders. I didn't realize that Raza was streaming. It conflicts with E3 quals, though, and I'm going to prioritize E3 quals. We might watch a bit. If they start early enough, we might cover them. Anyways, I think fantasy's problems are very fixable. If fantasy can grow a brain, then this team is going to be kind of nasty. Right? Fantasy mechanically is actually one of the best players I've seen in a long time. He's actually mechanically insane. The problem is he makes such dumb fucking decisions, man. So maybe with a good coach, fantasy's problems are fixable. Maybe. Hates, I don't have much to say about Hates. I don't think he's amazing, but maybe I'm sleeping on him, right? Sandra, what's going on? Hope you're doing well. Peak Fantasy might be the best player of all time. That's what I'm saying. If you just put Fantasy in a room and you tell him where the enemies are going to come from and you tell him don't move and he's like not allowed to leave the room, that guy could be insane. That guy might be the best. His aim is incredible, but he's just... Yeah. Maybe he shall be the GOAT. We'll see. Not a lot of faith in NIP right now, but I'd love to be proven wrong. I would do almost anything to see Fantasy back on LAN. That's all I'll say. I've been good, Sandra. I've been good. All right. I think we're done with the comp news. Unless there's any changes people still want to talk about. You think white mode Twitter is bad? Believe me, it gets worse. Let's look at nice art. Oh, I did see this. Yeah, this is by Han. I know. I'm surprised I'm not following them. Yeah, this artist is very good. Cute little Pride Month art. I like the drone a lot in this picture. Very cute. I've never been a Friends fan, but I can appreciate a good reference. This was a funny tweet from Light Rose, too. Proud of the Manchester Major drone from coming out. I do not know what's going on with the EWC closed quals. Obviously, the open quals are... the open quals are not allowed to be streamed. I assume the closed quals will be streamed. In fact, I'm pretty sure they are. Wait, actually, I think they are. We'll save the cringe TikTok edit for last. Sometimes, what is this? Small personal issue with Monty. Sometimes you throw everything and it's not enough. What is this? Kill the Monty. Kill the Monty. No way, bro. Average Xbox player. Or is this PlayStation? This is PlayStation, right? Average PlayStation player. Bro, don't lose this!
Oh my God,
What are either of them doing? It's pretty good. I maintain Monty is the strongest operator in Rainbow Six Siege at the moment. That was maybe a skill issue on the individual, but Light Rose, one of your favorite people in the scene? She's great. What's up, Glitter? All right, let's watch the cringe TikTok edit, and then we're out of our content. Wait, no, I've seen this. I don't know if this is safe for stream, but we're gonna run it anyways.
I'm really not picky. Like, if you want to come in the back door, if you want to come in the front door, if you want to come in both, I don't care really, as long as you're coming in one.
Time to make a new door.
I'm really not picky. Like, if you...
Wait, it kind of goes hard, though. Wait, it kind of goes hard. Okay, you can say what you want about it, right? The intro is the intro, but it kind of goes... If there were better clips, honestly, I'd give it a like. I'm scrolling by, I might like that. We need more good montages in the scene. It kind of goes hard. Look at the link you sent. Where did you send it? Oh, you got clapped by Nightbot. Let me see. Is this the Doki dancing link? Sandra, the link you sent me does not work. The link you sent me is dead ass broken. Let me just go to your profile. See if I can find it. I'm not seeing it. It works for you? Am I blocked? You sent it on Twitter. Perfect. All right, this was the Jack meme checkpoint. The caption to this is dance if you really love your girlfriend. We need to stop. As a society, we may have gone too far. As a society, that may be too much. Hey. Better than my time doing the gritty. All right. We've got Element 3 qualifiers in about 45 minutes. Is there anything going on right now? Anything exciting? Anything worth watching? Worth streaming? There's a new High Bear video, but I kind of want to give it a couple days before I watch it. High Bear said I can watch his videos on stream, but I think it came out today, and I don't know if I want to watch it day of. I want to kind of give people a chance to watch it on their own.
Dentist. Hold up.
We're just watching Ben lose and then going to the hockey game? Yes. Yes, Flynn, that is exactly correct. The year is better than hockey? I had this conversation. You know what? I'll have this debate. Because I had this conversation in the talent group chat. In the group chat with, mostly with, like, Ace and, like, fucking Medics and them. And I have nothing bad to say about soccer, right? And I'm going to call it soccer because I'm American. I have nothing bad to say about the sport. I think it's fun. I think it's hype when a ball goes in the goal. I think you're running around. It's like hockey on grass. It's a fun sport. The net's pretty big, but you know, the goalies jump for it. It's hype. They're not goalies, they're keepers. I like soccer. But the format, dude, is stuck in the 1600s. I swear to God. Europeans made the fucking, like, FIFA made the rules of soccer back when King Charles was the fucking leader of the world. Or King George. Who was an old king? I don't know, bro. And they've not changed it since. The fact that, like, I just think the rules of soccer are stupid. The fact that there's not enough player changes, the fact that there's no fucking infinite overtime during the important games, the fact that you could literally end in penalties is insane to me. The fact that you play BO1s for the entirety of, like, all of your playoffs is shitty. It's bad format. It just needs a format update. Because the thing is, what happened is the sports culture in America is money hungry, right? The big sports companies in the United States want money. And they do in Europe too. But they're a bit better at making money in America. So what they did is they started fucking messing around with shit in America. They started messing around with shit in America. They made formats where you can play best of sevens in the finals, where you can have infinite overtime, where you can drop your gloves and fight each other. These are the additions which North American sports fans were willing to risk and were willing to innovate on, that the Europeans are too sleepy to realize will benefit their games. So I'm sure the Euros are exciting. I'm sure they are. But they're not with